Hey everyone, this is Pallavi, and today we are diving into the 23rd game of the book, The Most Instructive Games of Chess Ever Played by Irving Chernev. The title of the game is Good Bishop and Bad Bishop, a classic battle between Barden and Rossolimo in Hastings 1950, and the opening played was Sicilian defense. This game showcases a surprising modern concept. Rossolimo deliberately exchanges pieces just to remove a bishop that hasn't even moved from its original square. Why? Because it leaves Barden with a bad bishop blocked by his own pawns, while Rossolimo keeps a strong active knight. In practical terms, that's a major advantage. Rossolimo uses this imbalance to launch an attack, wins a pawn in the tactics, and simplifies into a winning endgame. A clean, instructive example of exploiting piece quality. So, without further ado, let's start. So, White started with e4, controlling the center. Black played c5, the Sicilian defense. Knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, and then knight f6, knight to c3. White can also play f3 to defend e4, and after g6, then c4, and then knight c3. White gets the Maroczy bind, a strong setup that controls the center and restricts black's plans. But white played knight to c3, black played a6. Najdorf refined the Boleslavsky line marked by the move e5, but playing immediately e5 allows bishop b5 check, knight bd7, and then knight f5, which favors white. So black played a6 and now white played f4. Now if black plays e5, the knight can safely retreat to f3 without blocking the f pawn. Now black played e6. White played bishop to e2. A good alternative is bishop d3. After queen c7, queen f3, then knight c6, bishop e3 supporting d4, and then bishop to d7, castle on the king side. White builds up strong attacking chances. So white played bishop to e2 and then black played queen c7. White castled on the king side and then black developed a knight to c6, bishop e3, and then bishop to d7. Black aims to control the c file, plant a knight on c4 supported by b5, and pressure the queen side. If he survives white's kingside attack, he can reach a better endgame. So after bishop d7, now white played g4. This move strengthens g5, pushing the knight back to the first rank, but it feels premature. It starts a kingside attack before the king has even castled that way. Knight takes d4. The exchange opens c6 for the bishop, which then clears d7 square, a potential escape square for the king's knight if attacked. Bishop takes d4. And now black played bishop c6. Bishop f3 supporting the e4 pawn, and now black played a good move, which is e5, the key move in the Boleslavsky system. Black stakes a pawn in the center. Although the d pawn becomes backward, it's surprisingly solid. Now bishop e3 and then black played bishop e7. Pieces must be developed even if only one step at a time. f5. White aims for g5 to start a powerful pawn push, but never gets the chance. A better plan might have been g5, knight d7, then knight d5, forcing black to give up a bishop. So white played f5, And then black played another good move, which is h6. So black nips white's plan in the bud. If white plays g5, then h takes g5, bishop takes g5, queen b6, check, king h1, and then queen takes b2 wins a pawn for black. So white played queen to d2, then b5. A subtle move, the pawn supports the knight's arrival on c4 while freeing b7 square for the queen to pressure white's center. Rook a d1, bringing in the rook on a half open file. Rook c8 increases the pressure on the c file. a3, queen b7 threatens the e pawn. Queen d3, and then black played another good move, which is knight d7. The knight has two options. Number one, knight to c5 to pressure the e pawn and force white to trade his strong bishop, or number two, maneuver to c4 via b6 for a powerful outpost. Now white played b4. This move eliminates the first option, which is knight to c5, but not the second. So black played knight b6. Now white played bishop c1. White avoids the tempting knight d5 because if knight d5, after that bishop takes d5, e takes d5, and now knight to a4, black threatens to win the exchange with knight b2 or dominate the c file with rook c3, both hard to stop. So here after knight b6, bishop to c1, and then black played knight c4. The knight attacks nothing directly since the a pawn is protected by the bishop, but its control of c4 alone paralyzes white's entire queen side. Knight d5. Black captured, bishop takes d5, and then e takes d5. So Rossolimo decides to exchange white's strong bishop even though it's still on its original square and mainly defensive. It poses a threat. Once removed, Barden is left with a bad bishop trapped behind his own pawns. Now black played bishop to g5, deliberately exchanging the undeveloped bishop with his developed one. Rook fe1. Queen to e7, then bishop e4. Bishop takes c1, rook takes c1, and now black played another good move, which is h5. Clever play. The h file opens up whether white captures or not. Queen g3. H takes g4, queen takes g4. Chess demands constant care. A hasty move like king f8 to protect the g pawn allows f6, and black would be lost because of the discoveries and attack on the g7 pawn. Queen f6. This move ends the pawn's ambitions. Bishop d3. Rook h4 attacking the queen, queen to g3, and now black played knight b6. The knight prepares to join the kingside attack. Rook e4. If bishop e4 right now to protect the d pawn, then rook c4, queen g2 supporting the e4 bishop, then rook c takes e4, rook takes e4, rook takes e4, queen takes e4, and now queen g5 check, and black wins the rook. Also, after rook c4, if white moves the bishop to f3, then knight takes d5, bishop takes d5, and then rook cg4, which wins the queen. So after knight b6, white played rook e4, rook h5, and now white played rook to g4. With no way to save the d pawn, white looks for counterplay behind enemy lines. Now knight takes d5, rook takes g7, knight f4, rook g8 check, king d7, and then rook takes c8, king captures c8. Even better, was rook g5, rook g8, rook takes g3 check, h takes g3, and then knight d5. Even though white is 1 point up, the game is winning for black as he has a deadly combination of queen and knight along with a passed pawn. So after rook takes c8, king takes c8, white played queen to g8 check and then king b7, guarding the a8 square from the white queen. Now king h1. This move avoids losing the queen to rook g6 check, rook g5 check. Now black played queen to h6, h2 is in danger, queen to g1. Forced because after queen takes f7 check, king b6, the queen cannot return to defend the h pawn. So after queen g1, knight takes d3, the dream finish. Everything traded off, a pawn up, and a simple win ahead. Now c takes d3, rook takes h2, check, and white resigns here. If white played on, the finish would go like this. Queen takes h2, queen takes c1 check. Queen g1, because if king g2, then queen d2 check and the queen gets trade. And queen g1, queen takes g1, king takes g1, king c6, king f2, king d5, king a3, and now f6. King to e2, king d4, king d2, and then pawn pushes to e4. D takes e4, king takes e4, and black has a winning position. So after rook takes h2 check, here white resigned. Now let's look at some few principles, few lessons we learned from this game. Number one is bishop imbalance. Trading a good bishop can leave your opponent with a bad one blocked by their own pawns. Number two, strong outposts. A knight on c4 didn't attack anything directly, but its presence shut down white's queen side. Number 3, Boleslavsky structure. A backward d-pawn is worth it for strong center control and piece activity. Number 4, don't rush the attack. White's premature kingside push backfired. Always develop fully before launching attacks. Number 5, file control wins games. Black's control of the c-file created pressure and tactical chances. Number 6, simplify to win. Once ahead, Rossolimo traded down smoothly into a winning pawn endgame. Number 7, stay tactically sharp. Precise calculation at key moments secured the win and avoided traps. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from this lesson as well. Please like, share, and comment and subscribe to my channel to show some support. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.